This is the Sports Porch, Black and Gold, with your hosts, the technical director, the Grand Schwabini, and Hockey Jesus. Come on, Pittsburgh. Let's show a little Steelers, Penguins, and Pirates love. The Sports Porch Black and Gold starts now. It does. The Sports Porch Black and Gold starts now all over the world on Facebook, YouTube, and X. And of course, you can subscribe to the podcast on the Spotify app, iHeartRadio app. What are the other ones? Overcast, all that other stuff. Anywhere you get
whatever you want.
Podcasts. Yeah, anywhere you get your podcasts. I want to throw our email up there because we've been emailing with people. Yoho's son, his package is in the mail. We'll talk about that. ogsportsporch@gmail.com if you want to drop us a line. And, of course, we encourage you, if you're watching on X, to subscribe or follow us, and at the Sports Porch Podcast on YouTube. I am your technical director. This guy over here is Hockey Jesus, coming to us from the Greenfield studio in the city of Pittsburgh. I'm in the Monroeville basement studio. Although I don't think the basement hurts the quality. And below me is the Grand Schwabini, coming to us from, let's just say, the outer limits of Fox Chapel. Better known as the township. So,
by the way,
yeah.
with our email, does OG stand for Old Guard?
No, it stands for original. We are the original Sports Porch podcast.
Oh, hey, OG. Okay.
Yeah. Right. What did you think? Old Guard? Is that what it really stands
Old
for?
Guard. I don't know.
Old Guard. Yeah. Well, that's
what the hell it stands for.
Let's just say that when I was trying to get us an email address many years ago, we've had it for years, by the way. We've just never given it out. But many years ago, that was what I came up with because somebody actually did have the Sports Porch @gmail.com, which doesn't really make us the original Sports Porch email, but we are OG Sports Porch. Are you with me? Can we move on?
I'm with you. I heard you got a video for us to check out.
Yeah, I mean, you know what's funny is I completely forgot about it. I think
you might be getting early onset Alzheimer's.
That whole thing. I do want to mention one other thing before we get to the video. SteelCityDraftGear.com, promo code Porch for 5% off. That's where you get your draft gear. The draft is in April in this great city. 500,000 people going to be here. You want to get a hold of this stuff first. We got Sports Porch hats. We got shirts. We got all kinds of stuff. Curtis is always here. He's not here tonight, but he'll be back soon. SteelCityDraftGear.com. Thank you very much. Marvin Hamilton is in the house. Good evening. Chris Chada is in the house. Hey, Chris, we'll get to your comments in a second. But this is what I want to lead with. This is what I was thinking. You know, I'm blowing my head off on TikTok now occasionally. I am.
You doing any dance numbers?
No,
okay.
Because that's, he's doing it over there right now. But but I was watching this one and I was thinking to myself, here's how HJ reacts when he is asked about a Steelers game.
I stop into beer to some icy lights, walk up to the register, guy there standing there, he's, hey, you going to watch the Steelers game? No, actually, as a matter of fact, I've got an appointment at 4 p.m. I'm going to go slam my dick in a window, and then after that, me and all my buddies are going to take all these icy lights, and we're going to sit around a campfire, and we're going to watch the fucking Love Island, and we're going to fantasize about being on reality TV. Of course I'm going to watch the Lurs. What are you talking about?
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, that guy's beautiful. That's all I got to say about that guy.
Yeah, by the way, that's at Tourists Lookup on TikTok. I followed him. I think he's funny. I can't tell if his Yinzer accent is real or faked. Do you know what I mean?
I think it was real.
Well, I think it's real with a little bit of extra. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, there's nothing wrong with throwing a little extra Yinzer in there. What's wrong with that? What
I want to know is, for those of you that saw it, you can comment. But I want to know, Grand Schwabini, did that fit the bill? You know? This is how HJ reacts when asked about watching Steelers preseason.
Well, I know HJ, feels like it's like his head is being crushed by by those what you used to use in wood shop when you put the vise up and you wind it,
it was a vise.
Wood clamp.
Vice.
Wood clamp or whatever. I think that's how he feels. But I take a lot away from preseason games. I think you can learn something or two about the players on the field. And I did take a lot from this Steelers preseason game. And if you so choose to want to discuss, I am at your disposal.
Well, we're going to do that. But HJ, how do you see? Do you see yourself that way?
I see that way more like during the regular season. I have to admit, like during a preseason game, I'm mad about it, but I watch it. Don't get me wrong. I'm definitely watching the whole game, even though it was sometimes boring as shit. But I'm with Mark. I think I don't actually look at the individual players. I look at what they're doing as like offensive schemes and defensive schemes, not necessarily how the players are doing, because to me, you can't tell if a first round guy going against a fourth round guy who's probably not even going to be in the NFL next year makes any difference. But you can see how many plays they run that are running games, passing games, what kind of offensive schemes they're running, meaning are they pulling the tackle when they're making runs, those sorts of things. I know it's a little wonky, but I think that's what I get out of preseason games, especially when so many things have changed. Because let's face it, we haven't even seen Aaron Rodgers or DK, so we have no idea. We have no idea about those guys. But judging from the way the Steelers look, I think they've been passing a lot more than they have in other preseasons. So that's very interesting to me.
On these icy lights, and we're going to sit around a campfire, and we're going to watch the fucking Love Island, and we're going to fantasize about being on reality TV. Of course I'm going to watch the Lurs. What are you talking about?
I think that accent is real. Absolutely. 100%.
I get a little sunburn on the nose.
Yeah.
It's classic Stiller move. Yep.
Yeah. So as far as preseason goes, I look, guys, I have to admit, because it wouldn't be, transparent to me, as the TD on the show, I didn't watch either preseason game. I was at work, and usually if I'm working, I'll tape a game and I'll watch it.
Right.
I figured I would get some highlights out of it. And truthfully, I didn't even watch the highlights. I haven't had a chance. But that being said, That's
pathetic.
It's okay. You have nothing to offer on a sports radio show.
No. What I'm going to say, and you guys know what I'm going to say, is that of course, I've watched plenty of preseason games in the past. Mm-hmm. I don't think when you have the situation that the Steelers have, where Rodgers isn't playing, Metcalf isn't playing, the excitement of a big play or a guy like Roman Wilson catching a bunch of balls is kind of lost on the fact that, look, they're not running anything out. These are really basically tryouts to see who these guys want on the roster behind the starters. Now, yeah, the offensive line gets a series or two in, maybe parts of the defensive line. And I do think that Derek Harmon looked pretty good. I think he's definitely got some potential. I did see a highlight. I saw a couple highlights of him. Yes.
All right. Okay.
So I can speak to that and say that he's pretty explosive off the line. Schwaber, you'll get a shot here.
Well, you're just talking about how you didn't watch it, and now you're saying like, well, from what I saw from.
Yeah, I get it. All right. Okay. Look, we're for those not in the know, we're getting ready to go on our boys weekend away for the college boys. And this is just the warm up to the weekend where the TD gets, just destroyed the whole weekend by everybody. But I look forward to it. I really do.
You're missing some valuable chatting going on there.
Absolutely. Let's say, hey, did you guys get my email? Marvin, what email is that? Because I think I can actually look up the email right now. I don't see it. No, I did not get your email because he won the week before. Remember, guys?
Yeah, he won 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
OG, you know what? I'm going to stop the show right now just for a brief second. I'm going to put up That's the email address, Marvin. I don't know if it went in spam or not. I just checked the email again. ogsportsporch@gmail.com.
You will get your swag.
Yeah,
Don't
try
worry,
to send
Marvin.
it out.
Right.
If Yoho Son's on, his actually went out yesterday. It was just one of those busy times. I had the best comment. Yeah, we remember Marvin.
Yes, you did.
And if you're trying to remember it, think of the OG as old guard. If you think original, that would be more difficult because you got the O for the original, but then the G is in the middle of the word.
Yeah.
So don't think original, think old guard.
Yeah. Now you just confused me. Anyway.
Well, we're gonna have to get a new email now. Hey, Chris Schotta, just hold on about those Bucko comments.
Yeah, we got a couple.
We're gonna get to some bashing Buccos here in a second.
Yeah, we have to. I mean, it's like that's what people want to do. They want to bash them now, and we've been bashing them for years. So what? Why change?
Oh, yeah. I'm all in on that.
Mm-hmm. All right, so yeah, my take on preseason, boys, is that it doesn't matter a whole lot. I remember years, and I'm talking about it didn't really matter. It mattered a little more back, 15, 20, 30, 40 years ago, a little more, but not a whole lot. And so I don't take a lot of stock in it right now. But there are people that do. And there's a guy. Go ahead, Schwaber.
It doesn't matter whether you win or lose.
Well, of course not. We know that.
It just matters how certain players perform.
Right.
And actually, if you want to really get technical about things, what the league has sort of shifted to now is the inter-team practices are really kind of more valuable than the preseason games because the inter-team practices are where the first teams play.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I've been to practices and I've been to real games, even if they're preseason games, and I can tell you nobody goes as hard in practice as they do during any game. And all this talk about, boy, the Tampa Bay offense just ran over the Steelers defense. I think that's a bunch of bullshit just because nobody goes at full speed during those things. And okay, maybe Baker didn't want to dress for Saturday, whatever. I really don't think you can take anything from a practice, let alone a preseason game. So I think practices actually you learn a lot less than you do during a regular preseason game, because at least in a preseason game, they're going to script something. And it does have the tempo of a real game, with 2 minutes and timeouts and all that stuff. A practice, no fucking way. I'm sorry. You can't learn anything.
Yeah. And of course, just to clarify, you can't learn a whole lot by watching the practice. The players obviously are working on learning, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, they're trying to make
sure. For clarity's sake, just for clarity's sake. Yeah. No, I get it.
Maybe everybody should just watch with blindfolds since it doesn't really tell you anything.
Yeah, that's a great idea. That's kind of what I've been doing, flying blind with that. But
no, they should watch the first week. They'll learn everything they need to learn in the first week.
The first week of what? The
real football season.
That and that's kind of the problem that I have with preseason is that. And a lot of people make comments about this, and they've been talking about it a little bit less now. It's
the first 4 games of the regular season is almost
can be brutal. Yeah, if you got it, and once in a while
you could be out though if you lose those first 4. So
right,
I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
They are important.
Yeah.
They're important, but also there are some teams that come out of the gate and they're firing on all cylinders, even though they didn't play in the preseason. And then there's some teams who come out. There's always like 1 or 2 teams, that come out and it's like they win 3 in a row or 4 in a row. And like the first game, they played really good football. And it's like, I mean, that's the point of having practice. That's what you want to do. But more teams come out a little stale. It's more often you see 2 teams, even if it's high power teams playing against each other, they're really stale. So
hey, Marvin has some good questions here. I'd go to his first one actually.
Well,
I like this one better.
Well, actually, what I want to do is let's do that, and then Marvin's question plays right into something I want to get at with the Steelers that I'll play. So, Marvin, who do you guys think will get cut? I don't know who.
Well, there actually was some talk about Will Howard getting cut.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
No
that
way.
would be an
There's no
injury.
way.
Well, they might put him on the injury list.
They could do that.
Yeah, I don't think they'll
just
cut
to
him.
see what happened.
I don't think they'll cut him. I think
I don't think they're going to keep Skylar Thompson, to be honest with you. But everybody likes him for some reason. I don't know why. I mean, I've watched the preseason games, and he's no better than. Honestly, he's no better than Kenny Pickett. I mean, I don't know why people are excited about Skylar Thompson.
Well, here's the thing about the quarterback position. Once again, with Aaron Rodgers here, we're in a situation where, it's like it's a retread of the Mason Rudolph show. I don't think anybody believes that Aaron Rodgers is going to last 17 games purely because of his age. And throw on top of that the offensive line, which, again, we're going to get into that in a video I'm going to show in a little bit. But, I think that the whole season rests on Rodgers being upright. I don't care what anybody says about Mason. I mean, I think Mason's a pretty good guy, just in the way he's behaved in his NFL career between the Steelers, the Titans, and coming back here, and all of the things we've all talked about for years with Mason. I think he's a pretty stand-up dude when it comes to being a backup quarterback. I think he understands his role. I think he would love a chance to start because that's the competitor in him. But at the same time, he understands also that, there's a pretty good chance he's going to get a shot at starting at least one game, and most likely, I would say 3 or 4. But we all know that if Rodgers goes down, knock on wood, the Steelers season is probably, I'm going to say probably over.
Oh, so, well, I mean, I don't know. Mason's okay.
Over in the respect of lose the first playoff game if they make it there.
I don't know. And that leads me directly to this again, TikTok, as the fix is in pod on TikTok. I was watching this a little bit earlier today, and I thought this will be a good situation to discuss. Now, listen to what this guy has to say.
I don't think they have a run game, folks. Their run game is just it's non-existent. I know Jaylen Warren hasn't played yet, and he's going to, and he's a dog. There's no question. But I don't know that this offensive line's got any better. And I listen, this. I know I'm going to get backlash from this. I've watched Caleb Johnson's tape from college, a lot of it. And I've watched what I've seen in preseason. Folks, he don't got that dog in him. He don't. I don't see it. Maybe it's there and it's going to come out week 1, but I don't see it yet. He looks like he's just going through the motions out there. He's just another body. I do not see the dog in him. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't see it. As that's the problem with the Steelers. As good as their defense is as bad as their offense is. Where are we going? We're not going anywhere. Folks, they're going to finish 6-11. You can book it.
There you go.
First of all, why did you even put that guy on? I think people are here to see us, not that idiot.
Well, no, it's a
and that guy is an idiot.
All right.
I mean, I've never heard a stupider segment in my life.
I don't know. I disagree.
I watched the highlights of Caleb Johnson from this past week, and I was super impressed.
Okay.
And I was like, wow. This guy is going to be good. This guy's nice.
This is why I put it on. This is why I put it on. This is somebody
say it without that idiot.
I know, but this is somebody outside. You can tell by his accent. Is somebody outside of the perimeter that we live in, the bubble that we live in, which is Steelers Nation.
I think he's from the perimeter.
No, I don't think so. And I think that I don't know, but I don't know that he's right or wrong. But what I can tell you is the highlights I've seen that he was showing. It's kind of like maybe. Maybe that's the suspect for me. Is the run game going to be any good? Because we know what we had with Najee Harris, which was mediocre. Is it going to be just mediocre again? And if that line doesn't gel, I guarantee you it's going to be mediocre again because we didn't draft Ashton Genty. Or we don't have Saquon Barkley, who, by the way, also has a world-class offensive line. So I'm kind of calling it in the beginning and saying, hey, look, I know preseason doesn't mean shit, but there are still questions, and to think that they're definitely going to have a winning season just because Tomlin's never had a losing season. I don't know.
I think that guy was just pure clickbait because I have not heard one single person say anything negative about Caleb Johnson except that guy.
Okay, well, that's the thing. That's the thing.
They got you. They got you, man.
I did not.
Hook, line, and sinker. They really.
No. Grand Schwabini, they did not get me. I was just putting that out there. I can't say I agree or disagree. I've seen a little bit of film of him running in college. And I admit that I don't have to admit it. The film I saw of him running in college, I thought he was decent. I thought he was better than Najee Harris. I thought he had he could see the hole and he ran strong. But that was just in college. Since then, I haven't seen anything. HJ, get it off your chest because you've been completely. I know what direction you're going in here, but you gotta chime in. You're ready.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Before I tear this guy a new asshole, I want to finish the guys who I think are going to get cut. I think Deshaun Jameson, the guy who ran into the kicker, he's gone, and I think that Corey Trice. He's a defensive back that we've had for a while. People like him. I think he's going to go. I think he's going to get cut. If he doesn't get picked up, he'll probably end up on the practice squad. But those are the two guys. Maybe I don't think Will Howard's going to get cut. I was just throwing that out there. So that ends that. As far as this TikTok idiot, look, this guy is taking a few videos of some of his worst runs. Okay, this is what people do now in today's world. They take a snapshot of the worst and they make a big statement about, I don't know. I don't think they're going to do it. I think everything's a mess. What people need to understand is, one, he's a rookie, okay? The thing that's going to drive me crazy about the run game is they're going to play Jaylen Warren way too much and they're not going to give him enough time. This guy is a running back who needs 20 touches. He gets better as the game goes on. He's not a Henry. He's not a King Henry runner. Okay, I'm not comparing him, but Henry gets better as the game goes on. This is the kind of runner Caleb Johnson is. So if you're only going to give him 5, 6, 7, 8 touches, it ain't going to work. You got to invest in him, and this is the problem that I've always had with the Steelers, especially Mike Tomlin. They draft somebody high enough where they should be the starter, and yet they F around with him because they already have a veteran in there who's good, who's actually a third down back. They should just plug him in as the first down running back. He didn't get any runs. They played Kenneth Gainwell in the preseason game instead of Caleb Johnson. That just goes to show you, and this is what I'm learning about the Steelers. It goes to show you either they don't have enough faith or they're playing their the veteran guys over the rookies and they're making them pay their dues. I still think he's going to get in, but they're going to make him wait, and it's ridiculous because the schedule they have early is prime for him to get off of a good start, and they're going to waste him, just like they have with other rookies, like they've screwed around with Broderick Jones. And I have a phobia that they're going to do the same thing with poor old Caleb Johnson.
Or I'll tell you what, too. I saw my first glimpse of the wide receiver, Roman.
Yeah, right, Roman.
And
Roman Wilson.
And he looked pretty damn good. I was actually thinking to myself, you know what? They just buried him last year because he got hurt. That's like malpractice. This guy can play.
He got hurt pretty bad. They just turned him off. I think that's all it was.
Yes, but maybe he could have come back. But it's just like, he missed all the training camp, so he's not ready. You know what I mean? Like, why couldn't he have come back in the 10th game of the year?
Well, because they had to go get Mike Williams.
Yeah.
I mean, it's stupid. I get it. You're right. Yeah. I think the kid has talent, and I think that CA3 injury is bigger than we think. I think that's why they're bringing in Gabe Davis again. I think CA3's injury is bigger than we think. I think he's
Really?
going to miss. I think he's going to miss a couple games. I do.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, again, another weakness. All right. Gabe Davis, not that good, to be honest with you.
He looked pretty good with
Buffalo.
Josh Allen throwing him the ball.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what Gabe Davis you're getting. You getting the
Yeah.
Gabe Davis with the torn meniscus, or you're getting the Gabe Davis who, caught 4 touchdown passes in a playoff game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which that's the problem. You don't know. And, he did. I mean, let's face it, Aaron Rodgers probably isn't Josh Allen at this point in his career. So it's a little bit of a risk, but the kid does have upside. He's only 26. I mean, Gabe Davis hasn't been in the league that long.
No.
So I think it's worth it if you can get him for cheap, honestly.
Well, at this point, it has to be worth it because there's not a whole lot out there. So, what you get in a Gabe Davis is a guy that played on a team that played at a high level with a high level quarterback and made the playoffs and won some games and has had a big game in the playoffs. So, yeah, since your options are rather limited, I don't see how it can hurt. I mean, you just don't know what kind of attitude a guy like that has coming in. You just don't. I mean, Jacksonville didn't want him. The Bills, I heard somebody say this on the radio the other day. The Bills he caught 4 touchdowns for them in a playoff game. Right. And was pretty good in a Josh Allen offense, and they didn't want him. They let him go. So is there something else going on?
That was because he played himself into a big contract.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
It wasn't that they didn't want him. He played himself into a big contract. He goes to Jacksonville. He gets hurt. They have a change of, leadership there. It's not their guy. So, they're moving on.
Yeah, and they got Brian Thomas Jr., who's an absolute stud. So they don't need him. They don't need him. They might as well feature the stud that they have because they're going to have to give him a big contract if he has another big year this year.
There's 2 sides to every story. So we know that. So that, probably a little bit of it is true on both sides. Money thing probably taking over a little bit more.
We'll see what happens.
Really that good. They would have figured out a way to pay him the money. They would have figured out how to do that.
Well, not necessarily. Not all teams are run very well.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that. I'm very familiar with that.
Well, and I mean, they got rid of Stephon Diggs too up in Buffalo. So,
Yeah. Where is he? New England now, right? New England with Mike Vrabel.
Yeah, I believe that's true.
Oh, yeah.
Drake
well, he went to Houston, but then did he go from Houston to New England?
New England, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, he did. Yeah, he did.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll see what happens, but my biggest concern is the running game. That's my biggest concern because Aaron Rodgers needs a running game to be able to function in this offense. He needs a running game. He is no longer the nimble, running threat that he was before. Not that he was a huge runner before, but he could maneuver. He could outrun people. Now, you don't really want him running around all over the place. You want him to be able to get the ball out quick. And for that to happen, you have to have a running game to keep those defenders honest up at the line. And this year is going to hinge on that offensive line gelling and them having a running game. I don't care about the defense, to be honest with you. And we could talk about them next if you want. But truthfully, yes, highest paid defense in the league. There's some names on this defense who are probably Hall of Fame worthy. Some of them pretty much at the height of their career or a little bit past it. Then there's some younger guys who seem to be trying to make a name for themselves. Look, if your offense is able to score an average of 24 points a game, you're going to take pressure off any defense at all. And especially if you can establish a lead early. Your defense automatically gets better, not with a 3-0 lead, but if you score a touchdown on the first drive, I mean, I don't know what the statistics are, but I'm pretty sure they lean a little bit on the side of you got a better chance of winning. So, this defense, I think, has players on it now that are savvy with Darius Slay, big play Slay, as he like to say in Detroit and Philly. Obviously with Jalen Ramsey, with Patrick Queen, who's been around for a while, Cam and TJ. You got guys on every layer of defense who understand how to compete. And if you give them a lead, that's when they can do what they do best, and they can teach these younger guys. So I'm actually one of the people out there who's not worried about the defense if they know they can depend on the offense. Last year at the end of the year, yeah, they got bowled over for 300 yards rushing by Derrick Henry and the Baltimore Ravens, of course. Listen, guys, I don't want to make excuses, but I will say they were tired. They had to keep them in every freaking game. They had to rely on Chris Boswell more than anybody to win games for them.
That's true.
They couldn't throw touchdown passes. They couldn't get in the end zone. By the end of a game, that defense is run down, man. They play their heart out for a quarter. Now, there were some teams that got off to an early lead, the big ones, the juggernauts. But I think that's because the defense was like, we're never going to score against this team. So if they come out and they play healthy, the running game's there and they score, and it's important. They got to do it to the Jets. The Jets are not going to be a good team. We know this. They've got to come out. They've got to take an early lead. They've got to make it a convincing victory. And by that, what I mean is you win by a touchdown or more, not a last second field goal, and then you can roll.
Mark, what positions are you looking at?
Well, obviously you're looking at wide receiver because, the CA3 is up in the air with the injury.
Right.
How much are they going to play Roman Wilson? Looks like they are looking to sign another wideout. Are they going to use Jonnu Smith really more as a receiver out of the slot? Probably. So I think you got to pay attention to that position.
Yeah.
Look, I think running back is pretty solid. I think you got three good running backs. The only thing that's going to stop the running game is if the offensive line doesn't play well.
They're horrible. They would have to be horrible.
Yeah, exactly. Because I like these guys, especially Caleb Johnson. What I saw from him that I really liked, he hits the hole hard. He doesn't, dance around. He's got some quick change of direction that allows him to get to the outside and take a corner from somebody.
Right.
And he plays physical too. So I really like what I saw from him. And, we know Jaylen Warren's a real good, third down back or even a second back. And we know Gainwell's a good third down back. So I like them there. I guess on the defense, I'm kind of curious as to not so much who's going to make the team, but I'm curious as to who's going to get the most time at the linebacker position.
Okay.
Because that's something where, obviously there's Patrick Queen, but you've got a bunch of guys who all seem pretty capable of making plays.
Right.
Who are they going to end up playing? Are they going to end up playing Peyton Wilson, Holcomb?
I guess Herbig got hurt.
Yeah, and Herbig did get hurt. What do you think, Steve? Who do you think they're looking to start at linebacker?
Yeah, I think that's a really good question. Clearly, they're going to start Highsmith and TJ, on the corners.
Well, I'm considering them edges,
Right. Yeah, but they're linebackers.
Right.
Technically, because of the 3-4 that they run. I think they're probably going to play. I really want to say Holcomb, but I think Queen's definitely going to play the middle. That's a really difficult question because they got that Malik Harrison too.
Right.
They picked up from Baltimore, but I think they'll stick with who they have. If Herbig's good, I think you'll see Herbig and Queen up the middle. But don't be surprised to see a lot of Holcomb and Harrison. I think they're going to try and rotate those guys a lot. And I think, Herbig can cover for sure. So he'll probably be in more like third down situations. And I think Queen will be in more like first and second. But you're right. Watching that position, who rotates in and rotates out and when they do that and whether they get stuck on the field in bad situations, I think that's definitely worth looking at. I'm also looking at the defensive tackle position. Let's say Cam holds out just for the first game because that's what he's going to do. I don't think he will. I think they'll probably do something with him between this week and next week. I think they'll get something done. Although I'm not a big fan of that. I think that's what will happen. But I mean, let's face it. They've got some defensive tackles now who can play there. I didn't like the way Loudermilk played, but Derek Harmon looked great.
He did look great.
I think he's gonna rip things up. Keanu Benton still hasn't stepped forward enough for me to say, I don't care if Cam doesn't play or not. Benton to me has been a bitter disappointment ever since they got him. And
he did knock down a pass this last week.
He did, but he's in his third year now. You expect him to be a dominant guy, and he's just not that kind of guy. I actually think Harmon's probably already better than him.
I think you're
but
right.
I think if they rotate those three guys in that down position, I think they'll be fine there. But they got to be able to stop the run. That's going to be a big deal for them. If they can stop the run, I don't think they're going to have any problems stopping the pass. If they can just let TJ and Highsmith just hightail it right to the quarterback on third down and like 8. You know what I mean?
I saw a nice run stop in the backfield by Thornhill, but I know people are sort of back and forth on him. What's your thoughts on Thornhill?
He's looked good in the preseason. I mean, I would say he's the one guy in the defense who's made the most of his opportunity. They went out to get him. It's not like they just.
Was he on the Chiefs last year?
I can't remember who he played for, but they did go out to get him, and I think the kid wants to play. I don't think he wants to think of himself as maybe I'll get on the field. I think he wants to be out there a lot of the time, and his instincts were good on that play. I did rewatch that play.
Oh, you know what? He did play for the Chiefs last year.
He did. Okay,
he played well for them.
Yeah. So his instincts, I think, are really good when it comes to, a lot of safeties will get caught up in the pile. He watched the running back to see where he was going to go. And when he bounced, he was all over him when he tried to come outside that tackle, and he just pulverized him. And he had a really good hit the week before that, knocking down a ball. So I like him. I think he's definitely going to make the team. How much he plays, we'll see. I mean, but if he plays the way he does in the downs that he's in there, they're not going to have any problem with defense. I'm with TD on this. I'm not worried that much about the defense, but if the defense falls apart, that TikToker idiot might be right about 6 games, but it's not going to be because of the run game. It'll be because the defense falls apart. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, and I think it's very interesting, how all these things have to come together. Now, I want to tell everybody, I'm putting a comment in here if you can see it. Our website is theporcheslive.com for all of our content. You can go there. You can register. You'll see a register sticker come up. You get your email. We'll be sending out a newsletter. Register for our fan club, the Inside Scoop Opinions and that's where Schwaber remembers that from last week. Yeah, I'm sticking with it, brother. Marvin Hamilton says, if Mike Tomlin doesn't make the playoffs, do you think he will walk away? Now, before we answer that question, how we feel about that, I want to tell you guys, SteelCityDraftGear.com provides this draft gear for us. You could see, I think the Grant Schwabini has the sports shirt on. Steve HJ has the Pittsburgh draft hat. I've got Yin's Talk, We Tackle. This is all the draft gear from SteelCityDraftGear.com. If you go there and you use the promo code PORCH, you'll get 5% off on your order. It's how you can help support us, man. Show your pride. We've got a picture actually of somebody at a Steelers game. I think, Steve, you want me to bring that up, or you want to
bring it up? Yeah, bring it up.
Yeah, there you go. There is the Sports Porch representing down there at the ACK. Yeah.
You're going to see more and more of them, so you better get them while they're hot.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. I love that. I hope Marcy's watching. If not, she'll have to go back and take a look at it.
Hey, Owen's probably listening. He's a big fan.
Awesome.
Nice.
Owen, thanks, man. Really appreciate that. Back to Marvin. Oh, and the other thing, we do have a giveaway. Mark, the Grant Schwabini is going to pick the best comment of the night, and you get this draft bag. darn it. You're going to get this draft bag. There's a draft towel inside it. I got to do it all this week because these guys are remote. You've got the draft towel, the draft bag. Marvin, listen, get the email, ogsportsports@gmail.com. And Chris Chata, or not Chris Chata, he already got his. Marvin, yours will be on the way. Yoho's son, if you're watching, yours is on the way. Regular season. Actually, let's go to the Mike Tomlin.
I know you want to go to the Mike Tomlin thing first.
Do you think he will walk away? I'm going to give my answer real quick because it's going to be short. I don't know. I give it a 50-50 for real. I don't know. I give it a
0%. He walks away. Why would he walk away when he's got all the power, more power of any coach in the entire league? And if everything does go haywire this year, then he's just going to be thrilled as can be to draft his franchise quarterback right in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, it's kind of setting up there. When you put it that way, I changed my answer, Marvin. I think the Grant Schwabini is dead on right.
Yeah, just
0.000%.
Yeah, just consult with me before you answer any questions of any kind.
So, yeah, and Mike Lawrence is in the house. Hey, Mike, what's up? Regular season, do you think they're capable of scoring 21 to 24 points per game? I know they won't do that for all games. HJ, why don't you start? What do you think?
I think that's a little high. Maybe like 21 might be closer, but 24, no, I think that's too many points. There'll be times when they lay an egg. Remember, they got to play against Baltimore. Baltimore always plays us close. And I think that's too much for this offense. Although I wouldn't be surprised if it's above 20, but I'd be very surprised if it was 24. It'll be close. Mike.
Grant Schwabini?
I think it's possible. I mean, look, we have to look. We're all waiting to see if the moves pan out. But, if you just look at it on paper, they're probably a better offense. They've got three good running backs. They've got, a number one wideout, which they didn't previously have. They've got a guy in Roman Wilson with some serious speed running a 4.39. I just saw him blow by a guy the other day. They'll bring in somebody else. You got Jonnu Smith. So you got a real good tight end. Not that Freiermuth's not great or anything. He's good. He's just not great. But, this is a great tight end. You got Aaron Rodgers, one of the best passers of all time. You got the line, hopefully a year better, with the number one pick from last year, fully healthy, ready to play. What's it, Fontanu or something like that?
Fontanu, yeah.
Yeah. So, look, theoretically, on paper, they could be much better than they were last year, but it has to play out. I mean, I really think a lot of it depends on, I would actually almost say, I think more of it actually depends on Rodgers,
right,
than even the line, because does Rodgers still have enough? That's the question. Mm-hmm. Does he have enough, or is he, are we going to look back at this year and say, Rodgers was cooked?
I'm going to go back on my statement because I just looked this up. Last year, they averaged 22.4 points per game. And I said in a previous show that I thought they'd be 3 points better. And I'm going to stick with that. So I'm going to say, yeah, I think they can score 24 points a game. And I'm in on a yes to Mike's question.
Yeah, I think with Aaron Rodgers as the quarterback and DK Metcalf as the number one wide receiver, I don't think there's any doubt that they are capable. See that they put that comment up there again. Do you think the offense is capable of scoring 21 to 24 points per game? I actually think with the tight end, and I'm not going to revisit all the names of the players that Steve and the Grant Schwabini just put out there. We know their names. I think with the current cast of characters, if they play good football, purely because Aaron Rodgers has the mind of a quarterback because of his experience, that they are capable of putting up more than 24 points a game. They're capable of putting up 28, maybe 30. And that's where the defense gets good. And the word there is capable. You know, would I have said that at the beginning of last year? Absolutely not. No way. That team was not capable of putting up 30 points a game, just not capable. And the numbers prove it. They had trouble scoring 21, 22. You know, one game they had to win on all field goals. I don't think that as long as Aaron Rodgers stays healthy and that line performs good, it doesn't have to perform perfect. It just has to be good. That because he's the kind of guy that knows how to throw a touchdown, just like he said in the beginning of preseason, when he said, sure, I'm going to throw interceptions. I'm an NFL quarterback, but I'm also going to throw a lot of touchdowns. He already knows he's going to throw touchdowns. That's what he's made to do. So they're capable of scoring 30 points a game. Will it happen? I don't know. We're going to see. We're going to find out. Absolutely. Your thoughts in the comments. Remember, theporcheslive.com is our website. You can go there and a pop-up will come up and ask for your email address. You can register. We're going to do some giveaways there. Best comment of the night, you can email your address to us when the Grant Schwabini selects it later. We'll send it out to you. Previous winners, it is on the way. At the Sports Porch Podcast on YouTube. If you're watching us now, we have a few watchers there on YouTube right now. If you haven't already subscribed, hit subscribe. It's our logo down in the bottom there, and then click the notifications button because you will know that we are live at 7:30 p.m. every single friggin' Monday night. And it's almost football season, and we are getting psyched because we got a lot of things that we're working on to have fun with you guys. If you're watching us on X, we got a lot of guys on X, guys and gals, but mostly guys, I think. But, you know, hit that follow button. We'd like to build our Twitter X following up a little bit, trying to tweet some more stuff out there and have a little bit more fun, put some polls up with you guys. And again, go to theporcheslive.com and register. As far as, you know, football goes, we could talk forever, but we got more things coming up, you know, with football. I can't wait. The last preseason game is coming up, and then we take a week off and we hit the reset button, and everybody starts at zero. But as far as the other sports franchise, the Pirates, they sink the ship again. And you know, McCutchen and Skeens have now both all but called out management for not spending. You know, how do you feel if you're a player on the team? And basically, you know, the number one superstar on the Pirates in Skeens, not McCutchen, in Skeens, is calling out management and basically saying, now he didn't say this exactly, but you can get the implication, saying, you know, we don't have very many good players on this team. You need to pay to get some. And McCutchen then a week and a half or so later pretty much says the same thing. You got to pay to win, you know, kind of thing. And now you're thinking, wow, I really have hit the skids here. I'm in the gutter. Their lineup is pathetic. Their management is pathetic. Their team is pathetic. This is the only thing I think we can pray for as Pirates fans right now. The only thing, and I know Hockey Jesus will be into this, praying. The only thing we can pray for is that Bob Nutting, Mr. Nutting, this year decides that he's just sick and tired of hearing all of this shit that we talk on them.
Sorry.
Hold on. If he is, this is my monologue. I do a lot of them. If he is at all concerned about his reputation in the community. Now, listen, from what I've heard, he is. Okay. This is what is publicly stated by people that say they know him firsthand. So if I have to take this as gospel from people who say they know this guy firsthand, they say he wants to win. They say he is a competitor. Mm-hmm. They say he inherited a financial mess and had to get it back on its feet. They say all this great stuff. And for that, Mr. Nutting, I applaud you. You kept the Pirates in Pittsburgh. But that one little stint where we sniffed the playoffs, and you were never going to keep the team together, and we knew it. We know you tried to sign Russell Martin, and you didn't offer enough money. But let's think about this. If you have any ounce of that winning competitive thing in you to give back to the city that has been with you all this time, you're going to do something about it this offseason. This is your last chance as an owner to actually turn the team around and make people happy. If you don't do it next year, you'll never win the fans back the way they used to be. Never. That's my opinion. That's a memo, and that's a memo. So what do you guys think about what I just said? And drop a comment. I'm sure we'll get a few of those.
Go ahead, Mark.
Silence.
What else can be said? The only thing relevant to the Pirates is that the Phillies' Zach Wheeler has a situation with a blood clot. He might be out for the year, so that helps Skeens as far as the Cy
Young, yeah,
which is probably leading anyway. So now it's really between him and probably like Chris Sanchez. So if Sanchez wins a bunch of games and finishes like 16-3 and gets the ERA down maybe to like 2.2, maybe he'll win. But probably not. Probably Skeens, because the other thing Wheeler had the strikeouts over Skeens.
Okay, so is this Schwaber? Is this like you getting us back on the Pittsburgh show, just wanting to talk about the Phillies?
No,
he's talking about Skeens.
It's the only thing that's relevant.
Right. Okay, that's a good point. There you go.
It's the only thing that's relevant. I mean, I don't know who the hell else is playing on the team right now, but they're certainly not Major League Baseball players.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It just sucks. We all know it sucks, and it's frustrating. I mean, it's like, last week I was listening to some of the show, and Hockey Jesus brought up that it was Sidney Crosby's birthday, right?
Happy birthday, Sid.
Which is great for him, but it tells you all you need to know about the Pirates. There's nothing to talk about.
Yeah. And Chris Chada says Haney is being rowdy. Nutting should be embarrassed. Here's the thing. I'm not going to defend Bob Nutting. What I'm going to say is that happens on every team in baseball. Every team in baseball, even the good teams. If they got a guy who they feel is underperforming as far as total performance on the season, but there's some trigger clauses in there for things that, you don't have to have a great season to pitch a certain number of innings. Mm-hmm. You can just pitch a certain number of innings and now you're getting an extra $300,000 or whatever it is. And they bench you. It's a financial decision. And at this point, when you know damn well that there is zero, and we all know zero means zero, there's nothing lower than zero. We discovered that a few shows back when the Grand Schwabini asked HJ, who was actually an engineer by trade, if it was possible to have less than zero. I guess maybe in temperature, but that's all also, who knows? That's a bigger thing. Comments. What did you just do, Schwaber?
I'm trying to get some.
Trying to foster some. That's right.
Yeah. Oh wow, we are commenting on X. Wow, nice. I didn't know that. Okay. Sometimes we discover things during the show.
Only the technical director.
Yeah. I'm only the one that gets the emails and the memos about this shit. So.
Look, the way I feel about Nutting and the Pirates. I've spilled my heart out for the Pirates in the past, and I will not shell out another cent to this guy. And if you do, then you're just causing a disservice to yourself, the city of Pittsburgh, and Major League Baseball. The only hope there is for the Pittsburgh Pirates is if somehow Major League Baseball decides there has to be a salary cap, and that means that there's got to be a floor to which the Pittsburgh Pirates have to spend. Then and only then do the Pirates have this much more of a chance, because let's face it, the people they put in their management positions aren't very good either. So, I mean, that's only going to help so much, but it's going to make the sucking a lot less than it is right now. But they still won't be winners. They still won't fill PNC Park. But guess what? They'll fill PNC Park just enough to make Nutting happy.
Yeah, and apparently it does not take a whole lot to make Nutting happy when it comes to filling PNC Park. SteelCityDraftGear.com is where you get this cool drip that we're wearing. Yeah, we're using the young kids language now. promo code Porch for 5% off, steelcitydraftgear.com. We got a lot more coming from them soon. We got a bunch of people watching on X. Listen, you can comment on X. They show up in our comments. We'll be able to respond to you, hopefully. You can tweet us your best wing joint. We'd like you to do that, please. OJSportsPorch@gmail.com. Subscribe to the Sports Porch on YouTube at the Sports Porch Podcast. And yes, I do drop the podcast right after the show on Spotify, the iHeartRadio app, or anywhere you get your friggin' podcasts. ThePorchesLive.com is our website. Go there and register. You can watch our show there. You can just bookmark it, watch our show every week live. You can listen to past podcasts, all that good stuff right there. So now I think it's time we move on to a little bit of television or streaming, what we're watching.
Have you been watching? Have you been watching? Have you been watching?
I think this week is a banner week for the Sports Porch in streaming and giving reviews. So what we're going to do here, this is something we call what we're watching. And why do we call it that? Well, look, valuable is time, and time is valuable. And what would you do if you could have 45 minutes back? I mean, just think about it. 45 minutes back. I get to do that 45 minutes over, especially when you're searching on Netflix or Hulu or Prime or HBO Max or Paramount Plus or Disney Plus or whatever you're looking at. 45 minutes can seem like 5 minutes because next thing you know, that time's gone. You haven't found anything that you want to watch, and you either fall asleep or you move on to mow the lawn, which you wanted to try to avoid anyway. Well, we give back to you. That's how we show our appreciation, besides the free giveaways, is we do all of that searching for you. We watch the shows for you. We tell you if they're good or if they're bad. We make you look like a hero, and that makes us feel good. Sound good, boys? What we're watching?
Hell yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Only qualification is that you have to have completed the season you're watching to give a review, or you have to finish the full movie or whatever. So we're going to start tonight. I'm going to start with the Grant Schwabini, because this is a classic case of unselfish watching. I'm actually proud of him. The Grant Schwabini, take it away.
I watched Shark Whisperer, a documentary on Netflix about a young lady who has a certain connection with sharks and swims with them and touches them. And she also does do some good in terms of saving sharks from being killed, which is a good thing. Now, I watched this because Sir Klein gave it a glowing review. I do believe it was glowing. Am I correct?
I loved it.
He cried. He cried.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you cry?
At the end, not on the show, but during the show. Yeah, I thought it was very moving. I cried.
Why? What did you cry about?
The end.
I don't really want to go into it. Just
okay. Well, okay.
Jaden Daniels, by the way, for the Commanders, playing in the preseason, just rushed for a touchdown, like a 30-yard touchdown. Anyway, go ahead.
Don't blow out a knee, Jaden.
I know.
So
every step.
Look, this is going to be a defining moment for the show.
Uh-oh.
We all know that I am not a documentary guy.
Nope.
Not one bit.
Nope.
And I can't say thank you, Chris, because I wasted an hour and a half of my freaking life.
I thought it was going to go the other way.
This documentary absolutely sucked.
Oh my God. It's so popular.
Absolutely nothing happened in this documentary. The lady swims with sharks. Who cares? You're stupid. You're probably going to die one day. All right? Who freaking cares? Now, it's nice that you saved the sharks. I like that part. But come on. Like, this was the most boring,
oh my God,
most useless piece of garbage that I've ever seen. I mean, why are we even worrying about you? You're jumping in the ocean with sharks. If you die, you die. Okay? I mean, it was nothing happened. Nothing. It absolutely sucked. Now I will say that Amy May loved it.
See,
but I mean, look,
there it is.
Classic.
I gotta say, if you don't like documentaries, do not watch it. If you're looking for something to happen other than a woman petting a shark on the nose, don't watch it. That's all you're gonna see is a woman petting a shark on the nose.
All right.
It was. I'm still angry that I selfish watched this.
Yeah,
I'm angry at you.
You mean
I'm angry at you? You should know better.
You mean what do you mean? You unselfish watched it? Okay, you took a chance.
You wasted an hour and a half of my life.
No, you wasted the hour and a half. You made a choice.
You did take a chance. You had to know you were taking.
I was trying to please the little lady.
Yeah, well, see, there you go. And she loved it. So in a way, it was still a victory. See, you were a hero to her. You were a hero to her.
Yeah, but at the end of the night, I was like, I could have watched all these good shows and I had to sit through that crap.
All right. HJ is unselfishly watching. I'm not sure why this is not. There we go. Unselfishly watching another thing that I recommended.
I too went on a recommendation from the technical director and watched The Lazarus Project. It is on Netflix, and I didn't just watch the first season. I watched the first 2 seasons.
Can't help it.
Wow, you went through it fast.
I didn't go through it fast, but I have to say, like, you kind of want to see where it's going to go because, like TD mentioned already, there's a lot of timelines where you can get mixed up in. So sometimes, like, if you stop watching like episode 3 and you didn't watch it for 2 days, you might forget which episode you watched. And you would be watching it and be like, you're watching episode 4, but you're like, this is just like episode 3. Now that doesn't sound like an endorsement, but it actually is because they go through like the first 3 minutes of these timelines that they keep jumping in and out of. And for those of you who don't know about the Lazarus Project, it's basically kind of like time travel, but in a different way. It's more like there are different timelines that you can jump in and out of. The only thing that I didn't get, and I still am not understanding about this show is they have this serum that you have to like take to be able to be part of the people who know you're basically going through this. You can go back to these timelines that start and end. And there's only one person, I guess, who can push the button that says, nope, we're not moving forward with history. We're going back to the timeline. And that to me has some holes in it. But
that's a lot of power.
But other than that, I agree with him. Character development, fantastic. People can die and come back, so you're not worried about somebody dying because they're going to just come back in the next timeline. But not always. So you have to watch it. I think if you like sci-fi, if you're into like these, there are different timelines for things that happen in lives, and
the covert operative part of it.
The covert operative part of it, I think I think there are too many holes there, but I do like the way they play it out. I absolutely love the way they play it out. And the end of the second one absolutely says there will be a third one.
Yeah, so, I know. Yeah.
So I can't say that I'm looking forward to it, but I will absolutely watch it. And I give it a thumbs. And by the way, I love sci-fi and I love these things. I thought it was on that realm. I would say it was more like if Black Mirror is a 10 for those things, this was more like a 7 or an 8. Still very good, not top of the top. But I still liked it.
I also want to let our viewers know that don't be dissuaded by Mr. Klein's
here we go.
Suggestions. He actually does very well with non-documentary films. I've seen some very good stuff that he's introduced me to lately.
There you go.
Non-documentary.
All right. The TG did his own unselfish. That's what I'm talking about. This is a banner moment in sports history. All these years, I don't think we've had one. We've had over 500 shows, people. 500
3 unselfish watchings.
I don't think we've ever had 3.
Does this mean you guys are going to watch Survivor in the fall?
Fuck no.
No.
What happened? I watched The Waterfront.
What did you think?
Which the Grand Schwabini vigorously recommended.
I liked it
last week. Here's the interesting thing. There's a connection to me. The guy that plays the father there in the blue shirt, if you're watching on YouTube, I actually spent an entire day with him filming one of the very first scenes of the Netflix series Mindhunter.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite actors. I like him.
I was the photographer in the newscast, and in the very first episode of Mindhunter, within the first 5 minutes, you will see a nice big full frontal picture of me for about 3 seconds as they're walking up. And that I had so much fun doing that. He had a really hard day that day. And I won't say why. It just had to do with the amount of times you have to film a scene that lasts 30 seconds. It took 12 hours. Anyway, The Waterfront, I find it to be well, just look, I'll cut the tension with a knife. I liked it. I thought it was good. I think it's kind of it's a derivative off-color play, kind of like Ozark, in that the family was in the drug business for years, but they owned a fishery in North Carolina that expanded into a restaurant, and then they thought everything was cool for a while, and the next thing you know, the financials and the shit's hitting the skids because they're a complicated family. Which, I don't have to go into. I don't want to ruin anything, but because of that, they decide to get back in the drug business to try and kind of, even things out so they don't lose their legacy. And then things go south from there, and they go south in a million different directions. I think at some point during some of these shows, not just this one, but some of these shows, I do start to think to myself, like, okay, look, listen, all of us have families and drama occurs, but like you're talking about what I would consider probably 7 high level, 10 on the scale emergencies happening at one time, and somehow you manage to solve them all.
But think about it this way.
That's TV though.
We're also not running a drug business.
Right. I get it. That's Hollywood. But see, that's me. That's my realistic mind jumping in. I enjoy the acting. There are a couple characters in it that one of the bigger characters in it that plays a prominent role who's not in the family. I'm going to give a hint to Schwaber, but I don't want to ruin it. I did not like his acting. I thought I hope
it's not the guy that I will tell you this, the bad guy.
I'm not going to say whether it is or not.
Okay, but I loved him. I thought he was phenomenal. Okay.
Yeah,
is that the one you think you didn't like?
I'm not going to say that because I want people to make their own decision. Because even in spite of the fact that there is a certain character who I wasn't completely pleased with the acting job, I still overall like the show. I think it's worth watching. He probably won't be on next season, so I just gave that away. So,
well, just kind of like
spoiler alert.
Just kind of like you. I mean, look, it was good. It was very good. It wasn't great, but it was very good, enjoyable.
Yeah, absolutely. So, listen, this is how we give back to you. Give back to us. Subscribe at the Sports Porch Podcast on YouTube. If you're watching us there, please just click that subscribe button, hit the notifications, share it out with your friends if they're black and gold fans. Listen, we're 3 friends. We've been together 35 years as friends. We started this podcast 6-7 years ago. We have over 500 shows. We started from the ground up with 1 microphone and 3 of our fat asses sitting around a table on my porch. Now we've got a little bit more professional situation set up here. We just love doing it. We're not insiders. We don't go in the locker room and talk to the players, but what we do is we give you our honest and true opinions. And I'll tell you what, man, we're right as much as they are. Now I know they're not all trying to be right, but look, man, we give you a forum to comment and talk to us about it. There's no opinion that is not a good opinion here. I mean, except the Grand Schwabini. But, other than that, that's why you need to come listen. So you see where you can subscribe to us. You can also email us, ogsportsporch@gmail.com. Schwaber, why don't you tell us what the best comment is?
The very best comment tonight by somebody who has not won yet is Mike
Pat
Lawrence. Mike Lawrence hasn't won yet, has he?
No, he won. He won.
He won. He's a winner.
He did win. He did win.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I hate to break it to you, but if we go with people who haven't won,
yeah,
it leaves us with one person.
Yeah.
And I don't know that he deserves a gift.
Now listen, guys, if you're on X, you can comment. Okay. If you're on Pittsburgh Beautiful, you can comment. If you're on YouTube, you can comment. So we'll push it to next week. We'll give out another one. I'll make sure to get this one to Mike or Marvin in the mail if he hits us up with the right email address and his address. And then we will be back next week, maybe with some, there might be some, here comes a comment right here. Give it to someone else, says Patrick Donovan. He doesn't want it.
We already decided that,
Pat. Off track. Don't worry. You're not getting shit from us, Pat. You are absolutely not getting
in
shit
fact, you
from
could
us.
write us each a check for $200.
Yeah, please do. Write a check to Steve. All right, listen, guys, this has been great. This is the Sports Porch Black and Gold all over the world every Monday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Facebook, YouTube, and X. And, of course, you can subscribe to us at the Sports Porch Podcast on YouTube or follow us on X. If you're watching, hit the follow button. ThePorchesLive.com is our website. Go there and register. You can win some draft swag for the technical director, which is me, for Hockey Jesus over here, for the Grand Schwabini down there. I am out.